They tell you that you're complicit. That's the word the prosecutor used, complicit. I didn't know what it meant until she said it in court, her voice sharp and cold, like she was carving the definition into my chest with a scalpel. I looked it up later, in the prison library. It means you're involved in something wrong. It means you helped make it happen, even if you didn't throw the punch, didn't hold the weapon, didn't touch anyone at all. I'm E. I'm 20 years old, and I'm serving 3 years in a state correctional facility because I held up my phone and pressed record. The metal door slams shut somewhere down the tier every 15 minutes. Shift change, count time, I don't know. It's a sound that rattles through your bones, reminds you where you are even when you're trying to forget. That's it. That's all I did. I filmed something I thought was going to blow over, something I thought was just guys being guys, testosterone and posturing, the kind of thing that ends with someone walking away or throwing insults instead of fists. I was wrong, and now I'm here, in a 6x9 cell, learning what complicit really means. The thing is, I never touched him, but the video tells a different story. The video always tells a different story. Before all this, I was nobody. I mean that in the most ordinary way possible. I wasn't popular, wasn't a loser, just there. I went to community college, worked part-time at a grocery store, stocking shelves, lived with my mom and stepdad in a 2-bedroom apartment that always smelled like microwaved leftovers and vanilla air freshener. I played video games, scrolled through social media, hung out with the same 3 guys I'd known since high school. Normal, boring, safe. I had this girlfriend, Maya. We'd been together since junior year. She wanted to be a nurse. She was good, you know, actually good. The kind of good that made me feel like maybe I could be better just by being around her. We talked about moving in together after I finished my associate's degree. We talked about a lot of things that don't matter anymore. My friends were Jake, Marco, and Devin. We weren't a crew or anything dramatic like that. We just existed in the same orbit. Jake was loud, always cracking jokes. Marco was into cars and weed. Devin was the one we all kind of gravitated toward. He had this energy, this confidence. He wasn't a bad guy. At least I didn't think so. Looking back, I don't know. Maybe I was just blind. It happened on a Saturday in March, one of those early spring days where it's warm enough to go outside without a jacket, but still cold enough that you can see your breath at night. We were at Marco's place. His mom worked nights, so her apartment was always the hangout spot. We'd been drinking, not heavily, just enough to feel loose and stupid. Jake had brought his portable speaker, and we were in the parking lot sitting on the hood of Marco's beat-up Honda, talking about nothing. That's when Liam showed up. Liam was this guy Devin had beef with. I didn't know the full story, something about a girl or money or disrespect, one of those vague feuds that guys carry around like badges. Liam pulled into the lot in his brother's Mustang, music blasting, and I could see Devin's whole body tense up. It was like watching a dog's hackles rise. "The hell is he doing here?" Devin muttered. Jake laughed. "Man, just let it go." But Devin was already walking toward the car. We followed because that's what you do. You don't leave your boy standing alone, even if you think he's being an idiot. Liam got out, and I could see it in both their faces. This wasn't going to blow over. They started yelling, the usual bullshit. "You got something to say?" "Yeah, I got something to say." "Then say it." Back and forth, circling each other like animals. Marco and Jake were laughing nervously, trying to lighten it up, but I could feel the electricity in the air. Something was going to happen. And that's when I pulled out my phone. I don't know why. Instinct, maybe. Everyone films everything now. Fights, arguments, stupid pranks, moments that don't matter. It's reflex. You see something happening, and you think, this might be worth watching later, this might get views, this might be funny. I held up the phone, framed them in the center of the screen, and pressed the little red circle. I didn't think about what I was doing. I didn't think at all. The video is 2 minutes and 43 seconds long. I've watched it maybe 100 times, first on my phone, then in the police station, then in court, projected on a screen so big I could see every pixel of my own stupidity. It starts with Devin and Liam shouting. You can hear me breathing behind the camera, someone laughing in the background. Liam shoves Devin. Devin shoves back. It looks like every parking lot argument you've ever seen. Idiotic, pointless, fueled by ego and beer. Then Devin swings. It's not on camera. The punch happens just outside the frame to the left, and you hear it more than you see it. This dull, wet sound, like a hammer hitting steak. Liam stumbles into view, blood already pouring from his nose, and Devin is on him. I'm still filming. My hand is shaking, but I'm still filming. What you can see in the video, Liam on the ground, Devin kicking him once, twice, 3 times, Jake yelling, "Yo, chill!" Marco trying to pull Devin back, and me, behind the camera, saying something I wish I'd never said. Damn, bro. That's it. 2 words. Damn, bro. Not stop. Not that's enough. Not someone call for help. Just damn, bro. Like I was watching a highlight reel. Like it was entertainment. When Marco grabbed Devin's shoulder and yanked him backward. Right then, in that 2-second gap before Devin could kick again, I could have lowered the phone, stepped between them, done anything, but I kept recording. The video ends when Marco finally drags Devin away, and I lower the phone. You can hear Liam groaning, see him trying to sit up, blood all over his face and shirt. Then the screen goes black. That video was on the internet within an hour. I didn't post it. That's important. I want you to understand that. I sent it to our group chat, just the 4 of us, Jake, Marco, Devin, and me. I thought it would stay there. I thought it would just disappear the way most things do. But Jake posted it. He clipped it, added some stupid rap song over it, and put it on Twitter. No context, no explanation. Just 2 minutes of violence with a caption that said, "Bro got dropped." It went viral. 20,000 views by morning, 50,000 by noon. People were tagging news stations, tagging the police. The comments were vicious. They called us animals, thugs. They said we should be locked up. Liam ended up in the hospital with a broken nose, fractured orbital bone, and a concussion. He pressed charges. The police came for Devin first, then Jake, then Marco, then me. When they knocked on my door, I thought it was a mistake. The interrogation room was smaller than I expected. Gray walls, fluorescent lights, a table bolted to the floor. I sat across from 2 detectives, one older, calm, almost fatherly, the other younger, sharper, meaner. They showed me the video on a laptop. I watched myself film my friend beating another person into the ground. "You recorded this?" the older one asked. "Yeah. Did you try to stop it?" I hesitated. "I mean, Marco pulled him off, but you didn't." "I didn't think." "You didn't think what?" The younger one leaned forward. "You didn't think it was serious? You didn't think someone could get hurt? Or you didn't think you'd get caught?" I didn't answer. I didn't know how to. They kept going. They told me Liam could have died. They told me the video proved I was part of it, that I encouraged it by filming, that my silence made me guilty. They used words like accomplice and accessory and aiding and abetting. They said I had a choice: cooperate, testify against Devin, or go down with him. I felt like I was drowning. Everything they said was true, but it also wasn't. "I didn't do anything," I kept saying. "Exactly," the older detective said. "That's the problem." The trial lasted 3 weeks. Devin got 5 years. Jake got 2 for distribution and obstruction. Marco got probation because he actually tried to stop it. And me? I got 3 years for aiding and abetting. The prosecutor built her case around the video. She played it over and over. She slowed it down, zoomed in, pointed out every detail. She highlighted the moment I said, "Damn, bro," and explained to the jury that my words, my tone, my presence encouraged Devin to continue. She argued that by filming instead of intervening, I sent a message that what he was doing was acceptable, even entertaining. My lawyer tried. He really did. He argued that I was just a bystander, that I panicked, that I didn't understand what I was witnessing until it was too late. He said I was young, stupid, caught up in the moment. He called character witnesses, my mom, my boss, even Maya, though by then we'd already broken up. She cried on the stand. I cried watching her, but the jury saw the video. They saw me stand there. They saw me film. They saw me do nothing. It took them 4 hours to convict me. When the judge read the verdict, the courtroom went silent. Not the kind of silence where people are holding their breath, waiting for something to happen. The kind where it's already happened, and no one knows what to say. I heard my mom make this sound behind me. Not quite a gasp, not quite a sob. Just air leaving her body like someone had punched her. I stared at the table. I couldn't look at anyone. The bailiff's keys jingled as he stood up, and that's when I knew it was real. Prison is loud. That's the first thing you notice. The second thing is how time moves differently. Days feel like weeks. Weeks feel like months. You lose track of what matters. Birthdays, holidays. The outside world becomes something you see through plexiglass during visits that never last long enough. My mom comes every other week. She's aged 10 years in the 8 months I've been here. She doesn't say much anymore, just sits across from me, holds my hand when they let her, and cries quietly when she thinks I'm not looking. My stepdad stopped coming after the 2nd month. I don't blame him. I'm not his son, not really, and I brought this into their lives. Maya never came at all. I don't blame her for that either. The worst part isn't the boredom or the noise or the food or the fear. It's the knowing. Every single day, I wake up knowing that I'm here because I made a choice. One stupid, thoughtless, irreversible choice. I picked up my phone. I pointed it at something terrible, and I pressed record. I think about Liam sometimes. I wonder if he thinks about me. I wonder if he knows I'm in here, if it makes him feel better or worse or nothing at all. I wrote him a letter once, trying to apologize, trying to explain. My lawyer told me not to send it. "It's evidence," he said. "It can be used against you." So I tore it up. There's this guy in here, older, maybe 40, doing 15 for armed robbery. He's got a whole philosophy about regret. He says regret is just your brain trying to rewrite the past. Like you could have been someone different if you just made a different choice. But the truth, he says, is that you made the choice you made because of who you were in that moment. I don't know if I believe that. I want to believe I could have been different, that I could have put the phone down, stepped in, told Devin to stop. I want to believe I'm better than that video. But when I close my eyes, I still see it. I still see myself standing there, filming, doing nothing. The video is still out there, by the way. It's been taken down from Twitter and YouTube, but it lives on in other places. Somewhere, someone is watching it right now. Someone is commenting, judging, deciding who I am based on 2 minutes and 43 seconds of my life. They're not wrong. I am that person. The person who stood there. The person who filmed. The person who said, "Damn, bro," while someone else got hurt. I have 2 years and 4 months left. 797 days, if I'm counting right. I'll be 23 when I get out. Still young, technically. Still enough time to build something. Go back to school, find work, maybe even find someone who doesn't know my name or my face or what I did. But I'll always know. Every time I meet someone new, every time I apply for a job, every time I see a fight break out in a parking lot or on a screen, I'll remember that I had a choice. I'll remember that I chose wrong. And every time someone Googles my name, and they'll find it. The video, the articles, the mugshot. I'll be walking into job interviews for the rest of my life, knowing the hiring manager has already seen the worst thing I've ever done. I'll be sitting across from someone on a first date, wondering when they'll recognize me, when their face will change, when they'll make an excuse and leave. People want stories like this to end with redemption. They want the narrator to find meaning, to change, to emerge better. They want closure. But that's not how it works. Some mistakes don't come with lessons. Some choices don't come with second chances. You just carry them. You live with them. You wake up every day in a cell that you built yourself, 1 second of footage at a time. I filmed a crime as a joke. Now I'm doing time. And when I get out, I'll still be doing time, just a different kind. That's the part they don't tell you. The part no one talks about. The sentence doesn't end when you leave. It follows you. It becomes you. You stop being E, the kid who worked at a grocery store and wanted to move in with his girlfriend. You become E, the guy who filmed it, the guy who did nothing, the guy who went to prison. I've thought about what I'll say when people ask me what I learned. I think I'm supposed to say something about responsibility or consequences or how every action matters, but the truth is simpler and worse than that. I learned that you can destroy your life in less than 3 minutes. I learned that doing nothing is still doing something. I learned that the internet never forgets, and neither do you. And I learned that when you're watching something terrible happen and you're standing there with a camera in your hand, and you're thinking about views and jokes and how crazy this is going to look later, you're not a bystander anymore. You're part of it. I'm part of it. Forever. 3 years in here. A lifetime everywhere else. That's what complicit means.